up? How you guys doing?
What's up?
What's new?
Things and stuff.
I think we're
Possibly.
live. I have no idea how Restream works, so
Oh, cool.
it does things and points things
Yeah,
in places.
we're apparently instantly live. As usual, Alan gave us what I like to refer to as, "Hey guys, what's going on?" Oh yeah, we're live.
I love going live like right before Brad's about to explain something. I'm like, "Hey Brad, so why do you hate that guy XYZ?" And I'm like, "Poof, live." Like middle of him talking, he's like, "So I can't stand that dude because he's constantly blah 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 blah." And we're live right there.
So sad.
Don't worry, Snakes, it's not you. He loves you.
It's always Nick.
No, I miss Nick shenanigans.
Don't admit what goes on off camera, bro.
Because if we don't have Nick, we just don't have the best. Because every time we go to we end with something and we want to go read the off-camera best stories, we always go, "Yeah, I know he was doing some stuff, but remember when Nick did this?"
If we didn't have Nick, every one of us would appear very retarded.
Exactly. We always have to end with, "Yeah, I know I did
That's
this,
brutal, dude.
But
Mean.
he did this."
None of us appear stupid because someone's farther stupid. You guys are just brutal. You guys are not cool. So I entitled today. Yeah, I didn't want to talk. That's bad. I entitled today the podcast where we discuss what we would like to be as good as Mortarion. Let's not get crazy. Nothing is as good as Mortarion. But what in 40K? What's an army list, a faction, a model? I don't care. Like, I want to just talk about kind of our thoughts on evaluation, because any army list I give right here or any army list we give on the channel, core, supplement, doesn't matter. Mortarion kills it all. So like, let's just talk about something else. Like what we wish it was.
I think that people are looking at the wrong way to kill Mortarion, by the way.
What do you mean, like mortal wounds?
No, because people are, you hear talks, and if you go into these things, I guess they're called chat rooms or something. I don't know. I don't know how to use the internet. But people keep talking about taking like these, high-powered weapons and stuff like that. And you can try to multi-melt in if you have retributors or somebody that can use, big damage. But like, he still only has a 3-up save, man. Like, just put 700 wounds on him and stay outside of his his aura that tells you can't reroll. And
oh, Brad, you're one of those people online who like comes up with an idea of how to beat him, and you just automatically assume your opponent is brainless, like Daniel's face right here. Like your opponent's not going to be like, "Hey, bro, I'm going to sit here. You shoot me with all your little guns."
They're going like, "I'm going to take these big weapons." You're
dude,
like, just put 100 saves on him.
He's insane. He's insane. And if you're designing your list to try to kill him, you're not killing other stuff.
You're like, "You got a 12 inches where I can't reroll things. I'm going to run at him."
No one's running at him. He's running at you. And putting other threats in your face. So it's bad. I think he's really cool. But what else would you like that's really cool? I know, Daniel, you were talking about how much you wish Valkyries were amazing. You were just floating one right now in the air.
What I really want to be amazing is the Death Strike.
Oh, the Death Strike missile.
Strike missile.
I have
also
2 of them.
Wouldn't it be cool? No, it's not that big. It's just a Manicore chassis with a giant missile on it.
Big double dong dildo on the top
Yeah,
of it.
it's a big missile. But
I mean, it's big for some people. It depends on who you are, But no, I think it's. Wait a minute, isn't it already pretty good minus the fact that it needs force to hit? It just needs to be able to hit on 2s, right? And it's like pretty decent. Isn't it like 3d6 shots? I don't actually know the rules.
And every hit is a mortal wound.
And then also, doesn't it have an aura too? Like on a 4+, the units within 6 get hit.
Within like 3 inches, you get D3 mortal wounds to units. On a 4-up, there's a stratagem, so that goes down to a 3-up with a vortex missile. No, I mean, it's if there's a forest on the table, you're hitting on 5s.
Well, here's the case then. Here's the case that I'll make. What if there was a way to get it to hit on 2s? It can only fire once no matter what, right? So we're not changing that. Nobody here is asking for it to fire more than once.
Fucking a ICBM.
Yeah. So let's say number 1, we have a way for it to hit on 2s. Let's say number 2, let's give it a fixed number of shots. Let's just say, I don't know, 15. That sound good? I don't know. Does that sound good to you guys?
15 Death Strike missile
15
shots.
Death Strike missile shots that hit on 2s. But then but you still, let's just say, like, even though they're mortals, you still roll. If you get it you still roll to hit, right? So you got to hit on 2s, but let's say like 6s cause D3 mortals instead. Is that too strong?
Now we're talking.
Now we're
we
talking.
Can take out Mortarion.
No, we're talking natural 6s
In
though.
one
Natural
shot.
6s result in D3 mortal wounds. Do you still want an aura ability? We can still do an aura ability too on top of it. Screw it. Let's make it crazy.
I'm not
I
gonna
mean, the
lie.
aura
You
ability
fire,
now is fine.
can
It's
you
just-
fire it on turn 1, or do you have to do the whole wait? to
Let's
see
say you can't fire it at turn 1. Let's say you still have to do that thing where you have to roll the turn number or whatever it is. I think it's like you got to
'cause
roll.
I'm not gonna lie. If you
You
fire
have to
that
roll
thing on,
8.
you fire that thing on turn 1 and just decimate.
Yeah, no turn 1. No turn 1.
I
Let's
would
make
be
it let's make
very
it let's make it
Right now you
difficult.
have to roll 8. So it's D6 plus the turn number. So in turn 2, you need to roll a 6. Turn 3 a 5, etc.
So let's make it easier than that, because that's stupid. So let's make it a little bit easier.
It's
Let's
literally
make it
terrible
like
right
let's
now.
make it like it shoots on turn 2 on a 4+. You have a 50% chance of firing it on turn 2. You have a 0% chance firing it on turn 1. The tank is always just propping. But then let's say turn 3 and on, you can fire it without rolling. What if we said that?
I mean, it would make it play, but man, that's a lot of mortal wounds.
But
That
it's
hurts
only
my
one
soul.
shot. It's only one shot, one target. And let's
Is it one
also
target?
say, yeah, it's
Are
only
you
one
doing it-
target.
Is it? It's not AOE or anything.
I don't know. Let's talk through it. Is that too much?
No.
We're game designers right now. We're designing the game.
It's 3 inches now, and it
Yeah,
splashes D3 mortal wounds on
Let's see,
a
it has a
4 up.
splash right now.
It's not gonna splash anything.
Okay.
No, it's gonna splash to.
Yeah, let's keep what Daniel said. Let's do an aura. Let's not make the aura too powerful. Let's just say, why don't we do a 6-inch aura, and on a 4+, the unit takes 1 mortal wound. That's all. No D3s, nothing. Just like a small little aura.
No, make it 2 so you actually kill stuff.
Okay, fine. 2. That's fine.
Yeah.
What are you making this thing cost if you're doing? Because that's a lot of that, dude. 6 inches is a huge.
116 points.
165.
165. I like
Yeah,
it. 165. I like
I would
that.
take that every game.
I like that. 165 points. Can't have
And
more.
I would-
Can't
I
have
would
more than
shoot
one.
Whatever your largest.
Can't have more than
unit
one.
Is, and it's shoot and have 6 inches off that. You're like, I'm shooting it at Morty mainly because I just think his huge ass base will give me so many extra mortal
Okay.
wounds.
All right. Maybe you could have more than one, but let's make a rule where you cannot fire more than one Death Strike missile in the same turn. Let's do that.
This is true. A Warhammer Fantasy Giant can shove Morty down his pants if he rolls right.
Dude, Warhammer Fantasy Giants are amazing, by the way. That model is insane. I'm contemplating buying it. It's probably the most expensive, like, regular model in a store that I've ever seen. Not Forge World. But, like, that's one model that I wouldn't want to print, cast. I wouldn't want to get any other way than literally just giving GW my money, because they did a great job on that one. That one's freaking amazing.
All I know is that Daniel occasionally has a disco ball over his head, and it makes me happy.
We were talking about that earlier. That's his Jesus Halo. It's amazing. Prop it, prop it. Yeah, there it is. There it is. You got to put his finger there, and it just loads because it's foreground.
Love everything about
All right,
this.
so Death Strike missile,
I want all the Primarchs.
15 shots. You want all the Primarchs.
I want all the Primarchs.
Like which ones?
I think
I don't know what a Primarch is, so please enlighten me.
1 sec.
I want all of the damn Primarchs for each every leech.
What is a Primarch?
The leaders, the original. This
Is Abaddon a Primarch?
Abaddon's not a prime. I don't know why you just soiled the Primarchs.
Which
with
one do you want to
Abaddon's.
see? This is Mortarion. He's on a work in
Mortarion,
progress.
Magnus, Lionel Johnson.
Looks good. Lionel Johnson. I don't have a Lionel
Press.
Johnson. Is there a Lionel Johnson model? This is
Yeah, for
Space
30K.
Wolf, dude.
Is Lionel Richie a model? Is that
Lionel
a Primarch?
Richie. Yes.
Oh, here's
Dancing on
Vulcan.
the ceiling.
I know you like him.
Yeah, cool. Yeah.
Make the avatar as good as Morty. Are you willing to spend 500 points in the avatar?
If it was,
Oh no,
if it
they
was
should.
Morty,
Yeah,
man.
they should make a new Avatar model. I mean, the Forge World one was pretty pimp actually.
The fourth
like-
one's awesome. I'm not gonna lie. I forget that the avatar has the old model because everybody was playing the Forge
The old
World.
metal one
But
with
when
the
you
crazy
actually
head.
play it,
It's like this
You
big.
bring out that little. You're like, I am
Yep.
summoning the essence of Cain, and he's as big as this dude over
Yeah,
here.
Tucker
It's
Tucker
fucking
used to
tall.
play that one a lot.
I-
But they can make a really
When
cool
I
big
cleaned up
one.
my cupboards today, this week, I found the old one and the Forge World one, and I just took the old one and tossed it.
No, it
So
makes a
I
good
need-
base. You should use it for a base. I just used it somewhere. I think I used it in the display board. think I'm gonna do like
He's
some
so bad
display board stuff.
comparatively. Also, it's just silly. I do like the old rules for the remember if you guys remember the Court of the Young King, the Avatar could infiltrate with those guys, and I always wondered who was the scout, the sentry that got shot when he missed the 30-foot tall dude that was on fire. Like, oh, he snuck up on me. You're like, how?
He just appeared out of thin air,
It's
or
there, man.
thin fire, I guess. I don't know. He's
Fire.
there. I'm here. What's up? Deal with it. I don't know, man. What else? So we got Death Strike from Daniel. I know Daniel has a couple.
I want big bugs to be awesome. I want big hand-to-hand bugs, not big shooting bugs.
From Kurt.
Big hand-to-hand monster bugs. I would pay.
We had that for a
premium
long
price.
time. We had Hive Tyrants being good for so long.
No, but they were shooty. I'm not talking about. Remember when we had way back in the day?
Fourth edition Carnifexes.
Yeah, and then you had the giant monster hand-to-hand Carnifex.
What if you had like an old? What if you had like an old One Eye again, like a crazy, just insane Carnifex, like he's all scarred up and shit.
It's like when I think about like like all the movies with the big
Don't
bugs.
you have that with the Dementia or whatever it's called, the Forge World big guy that's crazy in close combat?
I don't even know who. I mean, I know everything Forge World, and I don't even know what you're talking about. Which guy are you talking about? Tyranids? You're talking about a Tyranid guy?
I played against it and lost. I don't know what it's called.
Like, they do have a big Tyranid close combat dude. Yeah, he's got like he's more like Hive Tyranny than Carnifexy though.
Yeah,
he's not even really Hive Tyranny. He's kind of like his own bug. It's like a really big.
Yeah, I miss playing that. I played hand-to-hand Tyranids for a long time,
what do they need? So what do Tyranid Carnifexes need to be good? That's my question. They can't be Mortarion. Mortarion's like different.
They need more attacks. Yeah. They need more attacks.
Like what? 12 attacks? 12 attacks in close combat, strength 8, -2, D3 damage, or flat 2, or what? What are we talking about?
No, but they should have like a swipe attack and a hard attack so you can switch.
Yeah, that is 100%. The dual profile now is such a big deal that makes people, even like the new stuff that just came out, the Death Guard with the Man Rapers having, yes, it's always Man Raper.
Are you thinking
anything that gets dual profile with sweep is just so much better now because it can deal with hard targets.
Well, like Carnifexes could have Crushing Claws and Scything Talons, right? So you can say the Crushing Claws have like, you can use them. They're like, I don't know, 6 attacks, something like that, strength 12.
Yeah, but you need like double that or something. You need a lot of attacks.
Yeah, so you do 6 attacks with those, and then if you say Scything Talons, you triple the attack profile or double the attack profile. So it's either 12 or 18.
Like Talos, for example, they have like 5 or 10 attacks, which is
right because they can double with so the Carnifexes.
But would that do it enough? Are they not on the table because the damage output is so low, or are they not on the table also because their survivability is bad?
They're also slow, but you got to at least see. I mean, I would do one more for than the other. You know what I mean?
What if they had better? What if they had better What if they had better rejuvenation abilities? I think that would make them more interesting.
Well, one, they need something like the Necrons have, just with straight up living metal. They should just regenerate one wound a turn as we go, no matter what, and then have the ability to feel no pain and stuff like that. I mean, I guess you could do that with some of the
or speed.
What if they had? What if the Carnifex?
They need to be faster. I mean, there's so many things right now. I mean, fucking
I don't think faster is going to happen. I don't think faster is going to happen. I don't think faster is going to happen for the big bugs. I think they're going to remain slow.
The big bugs are like, in the movies, the books and stuff, those things like how they're like literally charging at you, like rampaging across the board. Give them 0 guns too.
I think there could be like some close combat warriors that are charging across the battlefield like that, but like a Carnifex is slow. It's like always been slow. Maybe a Hive Tyrant could be faster with wings, but Carnifexes have been normally just kind of slow always. I think if you did a -1 to damage, and they generated 1 wound per turn on let's say on the beginning of the battle round, they always generated a wound back.
PJ, why are you killing the dream? We're dreaming here. Come on.
But they're not. You can't make them fast though. You can't make them fast. We didn't make the Death Strike missile shoot more than 1 target, right? Like they can't get crazy. Like we said as good as Mortarion, not like as good as the Revenant Titan was in 5th edition. Like we didn't, it's not 2 vortex missiles where you say just pick up all your toys and go home. Like the little kids crying at the Gladiator tournament, like doesn't understand what happened.
I'm going to recap this with Gary. We said we're basically going on what things do we think should be buffed up. What do we need? And I said a close combat Carnifex. I want to really, back in the day, you could play close combat Carnifexes. And so we're kind of debating right this second on what it needs to be good. And I agree that Daniel and I were like, it definitely needs way more attacks. And then we said a couple more things, and then Alan poo-pooed our dreams.
I'll summarize this even better than Brad. Gary, if you came here to figure out like how to play better, this is not the right podcast for you. We're just talking about wish list stuff that we wish was happening in 40K. And then I'm playing devil's advocate on when it gets too extreme.
Everything. You know what? You know what I do like in the NID book?
I'm telling you, wait a minute. No, time out. -1 to damage on Carnifexes. They regenerate 1 wound every turn. Let's say those 2. And then let's give them 18 slash attacks and 6 powerful attacks. Like 6 strength 12, D6 damage, -3 rend attacks, and 18 -1. Let's say -2 because -1's bullshit.
Just do it
-2.
12. I mean, literally, if you did the double
or double, yeah, double's fine too. We could do 12 -2 2 damage attacks. We do those plus the -1 damage that they take from incoming everything, close combat and shooting.
Points wise, yes, I would try to take them.
I think that's pretty good, right?
Right now,
that'd be a pretty good.
Especially if you play them as you can, I don't know what the name of it is, but when you can move, advance, and then charge.
And then if you really want to get crazy,
speed.
If you really want to get crazy, let's do something where they do 2 more things. One, you could potentially consider increasing their toughnesses as well. Or I love aura buff deniers or aura buff changers. Like I love the idea of like things within range of my army turns off things you have. I think that's really, really cool.
They should have way more things.
Yeah. So like imagine if Carnifexes had terror, something like that, where you could roll over leadership somehow.
Yeah, it'd be huge, or just say that but they could yeah.
Yeah, you don't know how to talk. -1 strength. -1 strength.
Turned off. If you either turned off aura effects or you turned off rerolls. Period. For
that, I like that stuff too. Yeah, no, I like that stuff too. But I think you can even expand it. You can say like this unit has an ability where if you're within 6 inches of it, you're at -1 strength, or you're at -1 toughness, or you're at -1
strength means nothing.
I mean, -1 base strength is actually pretty good in close combat. Like if your Carnifex is trying to get to close combat, it's not a bad.
Most things are just wounding you at 5s. You know what I mean? In the first place. So
but that turns into 6.
But that might, yeah, exactly.
But I would always rather have just shutting off either an aura or just straight up rerolls all the time.
-1 toughness is good. I'm playing it with my Necrons.
And what if
it's
there
not
was
as good as Obsec?
So as far as movement goes, what if there was a hive fleet that specifically had some rules around it? Like, hey, if you take this hive fleet and you take Carnifexes, but you have to take a certain number of Carnifexes, let's say, but you can't take any guns on them. And you get +2, and you get +2 to movement. +2 to movement. They're Carnifexes that their whole life they've just been running. They're like freaking Usain Bolt Carnifexes all day long, just training for the marathon.
Forrest Gump.
Yeah, Forrest Gump.
Jenny.
I think that would be interesting, right? I mean, that wouldn't be a bad idea. So Brad's all about Carnifexes. Daniel's all about the Death Strike missile. You know what I want, guys? I want something very simple. Khorne Berserker Rhino Rush. Why doesn't the Khorne Berserker army work anymore?
It's gonna work when they get 2 wounds.
2 wounds. Yeah.
Is that all we need? Is that it? Is it just 2 wounds? Yeah. Points stay the same. We're good. Good to go. Let's play.
Yeah, they've already got the abilities to move and stuff like that already with different legions. So you can literally already pregame move them. You, however, all trades seem terrible because you just get killed.
Yeah. I feel like I miss, I mean, we all remember it, but I miss Chaos 3.5 where it was like the craziest codex ever where you could just do so much. And I feel like Khorne Berserkers.
There's Black Book, 4th edition.
Yeah. Khorne Berserkers, I miss them a lot. And I miss the crazy stuff you could do with like a Khorne Demon Prince. Kind of want that to come back.
The only thing you couldn't do with a Khorne Demon Prince was land in a forest. Because then he was removed.
You roll a 1 and he's just gone. What happened to him? You know those trees in Lord of the Rings? Those guys got him. There's Treebeard was like, just ate
There's
him.
only 2 truths to 40K evolution. It's less forests in the forests, and the nights are getting brighter. Because
no night fight.
No night fight.
No night fight. I mean, to be honest though, Night Fight was the dumbest thing ever. When I was playing Night Fight back then, I'm like, we're in the year 41st millennium. Like, don't they have night vision goggles? Like, don't they have like radar and shit? Like, we have stuff today that night doesn't matter. Like, we go and, Americans go and like caves to find people in pitch darkness.
Forests are a lot less foresty. It used to be, you were removed if you were a jump pack infantry. Then it was like you took some kind of wounds, and then it was, razor flock wings in the forests, and now it's like, it's nothing.
Nothing.
It's fine.
You're fine.
You just jump in the forest. It's only 2 trees there, so it's not a problem.
We used to die when the forests were imaginary forests too, when they were just the flat green species. You're like, oh
yeah. I want Chaos Space Marines and Khorne in particular to be very similar to 3.5. Like Space Marines, the Codex Space Marines with the Primaris and everything is so much structure, right? It's like a lot of structure. Like you take these units, like it's very straightforward how they play. I think Death Guard shake it up a little bit from an Imperium side where you can take whatever you want, but like halfway through making a Death Guard army or Death Watch army, you're like, what am I doing right now with Death Watch? Like your points just get consumed so quickly. But with Chaos,
you bring the same army, you just bring it as OBSEC now.
Yeah. But as that's true, you could just do that.
That's exactly what I do. I'm like, hey, what's my normal army? I'm just gonna take it as a Death Watch OBSEC army now.
Yeah.
You're like, how about Vanguard
good.
Veterans as OBSEC? How about Inceptors as OBSEC? How about you're like, that's even better.
Where are your mixes in your units, Brad? We don't need those. We're good.
Veterans and Vanguard Veterans.
Yeah, we definitely don't need to talk about Marines getting any better. They're also good. Similar to Morty, but not as good. Daniel, what were you wishing with Necrons? I know me and you were both kind of looking forward to them, and neither one of us are now considering playing them. So clearly, both of us were left wanting.
Them in the Liga right now.
Oh, you're a cheater, and not and no longer a best friend.
I do like the fact that Daniel literally said, "Here's the thing, guys. I want to play something new and interesting in this league, and we're like, well, what do you have? And we go, hey, what about this and this and this with Necrons? And he's like, yeah, I definitely don't want to play Necrons. And then we talked to him like 2 days later. He's like, so I'm definitely playing Necrons.
What's your core? What's your core in the Necron list? Is it just 50 dudes?
It's just close combat guys. I shoot like 5 shots totally in the army.
Oh, so you took a different army. What's your army? I'm curious. Quick segue.
So I have 2 Chronometrons, 1 Technomancer, 2 units of 5 with Scorptic destroyers, 2 plasma sites, 3 spiders, 3 5-man units of wraiths, 3 9-man units of scarabs.
Yeah, makes sense.
5 flailed ones and 2.
Are you still taking move world expansionist? Move 6 inches before the game?
Yeah, I'm taking that one, but instead of OBSEC because it felt a little bit cheaty. I took -1 toughness.
Yeah, rad weathering. Yeah.
Yeah. When it's working really good, but
and when it's not working really good.
OBSEC feels better.
OBSEC is better.
Yeah, but I just wanted to try something else. It was fun. It's
but
it's actually not that fun because it's really boring to only play in 2 phases. Yeah. I miss psychic phase and shooting phase.
I mean, Necrons got a lot better than they were, but I wish that
100%.
Yeah, I wish they had more personality in that codex too. I don't have a particular unit to call out, but I wish that they had more. Like, I don't feel like you can get across the board without taking, so like the 6-inch move before the game is amazing. But like, let's say that didn't exist for a second. It would be hard to put pressure on your opponent early. Like you have Veil, which you could do like once with like a unit.
Veil, you have Scarabs, they have a lot of fast units.
But you have a hard time.
Good, it's just boring.
You have a hard time ensuring Veil works though, right?
I don't think it has to be that boring. They have a ton of units.
They have a ton of cool stuff. It's just
so many different units.
The best stuff is you're like basically like, hey, I was gonna make an army and it was gonna be exciting, and then you're like, or I can take 50 warriors, a Ghost Ark, a CCB, 2 Chronomancers. You know what I mean? You literally put in like 1,500 points of your army because that's the best shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do still love the monolith though.
If you don't play the best shit, there's a lot of cool models and cool units actually. But I do feel they lack a little bit in personality. I think the biggest problem they have is there's so few units that are core. So if you don't play with, like me, I don't have any core units at all. So if you don't play with that, there's like 95% of the stratagems are
Can't use.
unusable for
Yeah.
me.
You don't even care
They
about
do.
strats.
They do a lot of specific. I wish we had HQs, and it's weird that I say this because I'm allergic to any models that cost any points whatsoever. But I would like to have more options for all of my HQs and pretty much everything. Like, remember when you used to be able to kit out every HQ to be, if you want to pay 1,000,000 points for your HQ, you could have fucking 77 weapons, ride a jet bike with rocket packs in his asshole. You could just do whatever the fuck you wanted.
Sounds like you need to play Deathwatch more.
Well, they still don't have HQ options. I mean, they just have they just have army composition options. I can't make. I feel like you can, I guess, in Crusade, but I'm saying if you want to put a guy on the board and just juice him up and make if I want to make fucking Chapter Master Daniel and I want to give him a ton of stuff, you just don't have that many options.
Give him a disco ball.
And a disco ball.
It's not that there it was.
I like this beard with this sweater he's wearing. This sweatshirt plus beard combo just doesn't make sense to me. He's like dressed for like a slight athletic jog, like on the Sunday stroll, but like
it's because he
got
grabbed
a beard
his kid's
for like
sweatshirt.
He
looks like he looks like he's trying to fake go to 21 Jump Street. He's undercover cop.
What's up,
He's
Loki?
like, hey, fellow students.
Is this where I buy it from? Who the fuck are you, bro? Okay, another unit that I was going to bring up is, I know we talked about Necrons for a little bit and how boring they are if you play the 50 Warriors. I think there are other armies you could play, of course, but the 50 Warriors is just kind of gross. And we can talk about those on another podcast. I see Neil's over here talking about CTANs. Yes, you can run 3 CTANs. Yes, it is fun. But you will look at your army list and you will go, why can't I take more stuff?
You will go 1 and 4 without you too.
How do I actually play the game? I mean, I guess I could just run forward and kill everything, but what else do I do?
It's great against like Astra or Tau that can only put 3 wounds on each of them each turn. So that's an auto win, but I mean, if you play against something more dynamic, it's going to be hard.
You know what doesn't make sense to me? The greater demons have still not gotten the love they should get. Like, Mortarion is this beat stick dude, right? But he's still a man given powers by the Chaos Gods. And that's fine. If they want to make him amazing and Magnus amazing, that's cool with me. The models are awesome.
Literally not a man. That dude was a fucking genetically mutated. He's the best of the best of the best.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, he's still human.
He became a demon after that.
But he's still human.
Get out of here.
There's a part of him that's still human. There's 0 part of the Bloodthirster that is human. The Bloodthirster is literally a walking demon.
Exactly, that is the problem. The Bloodthirster is the problem. I think Slaanesh and Zench, they're great to do.
Yeah, Zench is good. The Lord of Change is awesome. Yeah, the Lord of Change is fantastic. I think if you're making a demons list, he needs to be in the list.
Awesome.
Yeah. But the Bloodthirster?
Yeah.
Very upset.
Bloodthirster's pew.
He should be by far, in my opinion, the best close combat unit in the game. Who should be better than him? Maybe the Nightbringer, because he's also a god? I don't know. But, like, he should be on par with, like, Nightbringer or something like that.
I love it. Just this spam. BA assault troops need OPSEC. The same way Chester is still part human after having Picard installed.
No, but seriously, who should be better than Bloodthirster in close combat? What are your thoughts? Anybody?
Kane, Avatar.
Well, he's trash. We already said he has to get a massive overhaul on being better.
Remember when he used to be weapon skill 10? Like, what the fuck happened to that?
Hey, do Meltas hurt him or no, right? They still don't hurt him, right? They better not.
They have, yes. He lost all those rules.
He lost all those rules? You could shoot him with a Melta?
He's terrible. He's terrible.
That's horrible. He should be completely immune to Melta.
Yes, you can flame the actual thing that's made of
oh my god. You know what'd be a cool rule? Okay, I'm going off Bloodthirster because apparently there's no love there. Brad's just ignoring my questioning, reading comments. He has the attention span of a 2-year-old. I'll go back to Bloodthirster. I'll go back. Avatar. How cool would it be if he had a special rule that enemy units within 12 inches with Melta weaponry or Flamer weaponry cannot target anyone? He soaks it up.
He just absorbs
it. Like, you can't even use the gun. You have to get out. Which means Flamers can't be used at all.
I mean, he'd be takeable right now. Like, for instance, I just don't see, like, Bloodthirster's got a little bit of a buff, by the way, with the fact that they couldn't just be insta-killed. because they can only take
Yeah.
8 wounds or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
But there's still just anything that only operates in one phase has to be
Dominate
really
that
good in
phase. It's got to dominate it.
Like Keeper of Secrets have strike first. They have tons of movement.
Yeah.
They do things. You know what I mean? And they have some psychics and shit. And you behind that, the Corn Army just doesn't. You know what I mean? So you need to have either just overwhelming. It's the same thing you run into when you talk about Tau, because Tau only operate in one phase. They're either terrible or they're OP, because it's such a fine line to go. You know, we have to make these guys so good at the one thing that they do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
that's an issue. I really think that, you know, Avatar and Bloodthirster both, I think, need massive updates. I don't know how. So I gave an idea for Avatar. I thought it would be cool if he just deactivates Melta and Flamer weaponry. Plus, I think he just needs a general stat boost, like across the board. I don't know if you guys would do anything else there, but if you would, let me know. And then if you're not, if you're satisfied with that, I want to know what you guys think about Bloodthirster. How would we make him better?
I'd like to have that dude just go. No, I think. Remember when I think that
what's nuts though? Define it.
Real.
Give me the stat line. Give me the thing.
Well, first off, you have different Bloodthirsters. So if you're gonna have different Bloodthirsters, have them actually be different Bloodthirsters, not just a name. You're like, that dude's this. You're like, what does it matter? He was like, no, it doesn't matter at all.
Yeah, one had a D weapon before. I know that.
The biggest problems with the Bloodthirster is that he degrades in attacks. He should go the other way, like the big machine.
Yeah.
He should get more attacks.
As he gets hurt, get more attacks.
Get more wild in close combat.
Yep.
That way, if you limit his wounds to like maximum 8, and then let's say he heals 1 wound, so you can only, you can't kill him in 2 turns, then he can be swinging on 1 wound in the end like a crazy.
I'd like to see different ones too, though. Like, I'd like to see somebody that's like doing huge damage and another dude that's in a frenzy that's doing 18 attacks or something.
I feel like there's literally an Incenate Rage. There's like a Rage Bloodthirster that's huge damage probably, and then there's actually I think there is a Fury one.
They didn't really separate them that much. I want a guy that's actually good though. Put a dude with 1,000,000 attacks out there, and then have the other guy just swinging for the cheap seats like the Nightbringer or something. You know what I mean? Ignoring invulns and just doing crazy amounts of damage. So and having like 6 attacks, only having 6 attacks, whatever, but those attacks just auto going through. You know what I mean? That would make him legit a creature character type killer. And then have the other dude just be raging. And then I could see myself taking 2 Bloodthirsters as my HQ in a demon army, a Khorne demon army.
So like, what do you think then? Like something similar to Nightbringer, like where he'd have like 5-6 attacks, hitting on probably 2s or 3s.
2s. Just gotta be 2s.
2s. And you'd probably make it like ignore invulnerables and like -4 or -5. Like, is 2+ armor getting so? Like, that's the big problem I have with Nightbringer right now in the game. Is I run into a Blade Guard White Scars.
-4, so people can get a
6 up
save.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe make it -4 and make it -5.
I kind of hate that about Nightbringer.
Or do something flavorful with it and say, as the game goes on, maybe he gets more AP. You know how Marines go into assault doctrine? Maybe Khorne armies get more furious as more blood spilled, so maybe they get more AP. You know what I mean?
That could be the rule for the Fury one, but like the Rage one, like maybe just start him off as Rage, like he's already just like going, like pretty high. Maybe maybe give a strat for a 3d6 charge for Bloodthirsters. I don't think they have that now, right?
They only have the banner of blood with the blood letters.
Yeah, but like 3d6 charge for a Bloodthirster would be sick. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, it's just right now those guys are so like you just never see them because it's just they don't do anything. You can screen them out and you just go whatever.
What if they had a 6-inch? What if they had a 6-inch hero jump thing where you're within range of 3 right now? What is it called? Like heroic intervention? Yeah. What if they had a 6-inch one and they could use flight and they could use flight during it?
You could make them actually different if they had, because they could use a fight twice, but like if they could fight things they didn't declare, that would also be pretty fucking huge. You know what I mean? Because you could fight the screen.
Or if they had an engagement range of 3 inches or more.
Ooh, change engagement range. Oh my god.
Any of these things would make it way cooler and harder to deal with. You know what I mean? And make it playable. You're just not playing Khorne right now.
Yeah, changing engagement range would be amazing. That's something that 40K could definitely do. AOS does that right now, but like that would be amazing in 40K. That would change up things a lot.
I mean, I think it would be a big deal on that because there's a lot of things. The problem is that the things that are good at combat and maneuverability and everything are so much better than everybody else. And then you have these things that are supposed to be good at combat, Khorne, and they're just not.
Yeah,
You know,
I mean, even Blood
they're not good
Crushers.
enough.
Even Blood Crushers is not very good. I mean, Bloodletters are pretty solid, but like Blood Crushers are also not that great.
Yeah, but the thing is Bloodletters are still hit it and quit it, man. Those guys are fucking have a 5-up save. They're T3.
Yeah, but they're cheap. They're like 7 points or something.
Oh no, there's still you're
really
bringing
hard.
like a unit of those and they instant get killed. and woe is you if
They
have
kill one
flamers.
thing, and if your opponent screen it out, they kill crap. You know?
Yeah.
You're like, way to kill those 10 guard.
Yeah, that's their major problem. That's their major problem. I think a cool thing for Khorne, and it could be like something that we've seen in a very, very, very old edition, but like if they completed a charge and killed a unit, how cool would it be if they were allowed to charge again?
Exists. Khorne has it.
Khorne again,
Blood Crushers has a stratagem, so if they kill things on their charge, they can charge again.
But is it just Blood Crushers?
Not on their full charge though. It's they do X amount of mortal wounds, and if those mortal wounds kill them, they can charge again. But it's a cool way to get rid of small screens and stuff.
Yeah, I think that would be interesting. Yeah. Like where they can recharge, but make it army wide. Like if the unit kills a unit on its first charge and it's Khorne, it can auto charge again if it wants to. Yeah. I think that would be really interesting because then your Bloodletters, you're like, I could screen them with these guys, and you're like, well, those guys are going to die, and then I'm going to just charge you back there, and then you could position it.
I do like that strat a lot though because of the fact that Crushers are supposed to be just rolling through shit anyways, so the mortals kill something. But they just need more. I mean, they need more. They need the ability to screen. I mean, they literally get dominated by just easy screens right now. If you're even like remotely competent to screen, they just don't do anything. And they're going to have no guns really because they're Khorne. So you're basically only fighting again. You're really fighting in one, aspect of the game. So you're just you either need to be overwhelmingly good at that and have tricks, or you're just going to be not taken, which is what they are now. They just aren't taken. They're taken in pickup games in the basement with cool, fun-looking models, and then you go to a tournament and you're like, there's no chance. You're going to see at a tournament with demons, you're going to see the Lord of Change, you're going to see keeper lists. You're never seeing,
Lord of Change, Magnus, Morty. Let's play.
Yeah. Throw down. Bash Brothers is back, yo.
Bro, it's gross. How hard is it to kill that guy? Oh, it's this hard. How hard is it to kill that guy? It's this hard. Jesus Christ, how hard is it to kill that guy? It's like, which one's the easiest to kill?
Those guys,
I don't know the math, bro.
If you're spending a quarter of your army on
very
a guy,
hard.
Shouldn't he be kind of hard to kill now?
Yeah, he should be.
I think the Lord of Change guy is a little bit overrated. He doesn't deal any damage.
He doesn't.
I've never lost a game to the Lord of Change.
He looks like fucking Highlander, man.
Ignore him, kill everything else.
No one will fight me.
He bugs people though. I've seen him just bug people.
It's because people they feel like they have to engage him. He doesn't do shit.
Just leave him alone.
No. I mean, it's not like he has 0 damage, but he doesn't have enough damage to.
He has Infernal Gateway and a Smite. That's it's 9 more.
You're not going to take your entire army. Like
getting out of
you have to take the entire most of your army.
We don't need to talk about Lord of Change. He's already good. What I want to go back to, Brad, is you sounded defeated with Khorne. You said they only do one thing, and they don't do it well enough, and they don't have enough tricks. And if you screen out, you can't get to them. So how do we fix it?
Well,
how did game designers fix it?
Because my first army, and I played it for a long time, and I kept going back to it, was Khorne. I played World Leaders. I played Khorne Demons. I have a ton of them. I played them forever, and it just bums me that if I was gonna play a demon, a Chaos Assault army, I wouldn't include any Khorne units right now.
I thought your first army was Space Wolves.
No, Brad's first army is whatever he needs it to be during the podcast. Just get that through your mind.
Because if you remember, I opened up the box of Chaos Terminators, and everyone laughed at me because I thought I was going to get models, and I got sprues. I was super pissed about it. My first Imperial army was Space Wolves.
I have moved out 11 moving boxes of cut sprue now.
That's Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I mean, you're being very productive. Are you still working? Do you still have a job?
I work.
Okay.
Just checking. To say that he gives us the wink at it after it's
like what the hell? How are you doing so much?
I work
Last week, last week I printed like 3 models, and I was like, "Ooh, good week, like solid." This guy's 11 moving boxes of sprues. What the hell? I mean, I could fill that, but I don't like cutting the sprues. By the way, segue. Sorry, Brad. 1 sec, Daniel. What do you do with the sprues? I need to understand what you do with the sprues because I have a hard time organizing all the bits then later.
So I have wait.
Brad is totally just like not engaged in this whatsoever because gluing models or sprues is just not. It's a foreign concept.
This is 2 moving boxes of sprues.
Oh, that's a very small moving box.
No. So I cut all the pieces off.
Oh, you cut the pieces and you bag them and you mark them. Okay,
bag.
got it.
That's vehicles.
Yeah.
My 2 Death Strike missiles are in here.
Okay.
This is like
just a white box.
Weapons.
Yeah. Okay, I understand now. So you Ziploc. Okay, it's because you're Swedish probably. You don't have to remove anything. You could just say, "Hey, Alan, I cut them off the sprues and then Ziploc bag them and put names on them." That's it. That's all I had to say. And you were done. Like, it was that quick. You didn't have to go get anything. You didn't have to talk about anything. Just had to say those 3 sentences, and we were done.
Tell, bro. He wanted to show you.
He's so proud. He's like, look, this is my 3rd place trophy at the science fair in 4th grade. It's like, what? Who cares about 3rd place, bro? Go home. All right. Sorry, Brad. Go ahead. You were going to segue us to something more relevant.
No. I was gonna keep in that vein a little bit because what do you guys think? Like right now, they talk about weak armies right now, and they're saying that Tau only operates in one phase, Khorne only operates in one phase. Do you give these people something to operate in another phase, or do you just make them that much better in that phase, or do we give them extra movement?
I think they should have abilities that shut down other phases or make your opponent have a hard time in those phases. Like Khorne could have an ability which basically gives them a lot of ways to shut down psychic powers. I think that would be cool and very fluffy. I think another thing that Khorne could have is if they only participate in the assault phase, give them more, just give them more ways to either hide in the shooting phase better, reserve more things, or reserve in a way that's more efficient. I think they do that already pretty well. But then think about like the turn after. So like just because a unit can come out and charge 3d6, you guys bring up a really good point. People screen it with like cheap stuff and then like, you just kill that unit that came in. So we need to evaluate that then, like how cheap should you make bloodletters, or should they have an ability to do something after the charge or affect the opponent in some way?
Like a blink ability, so they blink out of reality when you shoot at them and move them backwards.
Yeah, that's a really good example. A blink ability would be really interesting. Something where they can move in your opponent's turn. So if an army only participates in one phase, they need to affect a phase of their opponent. So like a really good example is in Age of Sigmar, the Ideneth army impact their opponent by basically saying their opponent can only shoot at the closest target. You can't shoot anything else. You can just shoot the closest target. That's how their army works. So it forces your opponent into shooting that closest target. I'm not a big fan of that because it takes away a lot of like the decisions an opponent would make. And it puts a lot of the power in the Ideneth player's hands by deciding what they want you to shoot at. I do think there's rules like that.
In combat, like literally being able to grab something and keep it there would make a big deal. Yeah. Because if you had the ability to consolidate more, and you had to roll off like witch style or something, you could put the pressure on people. Right now they just screen and just fall back. You know what I mean? It's just nobody gives a shit. You're like, cool. I heard you draw 20 bloodletters. Well, I'm gonna take a step backwards and shoot you with bolters, and you die because you're T3 with a 5-up save. So here's 30 saves.
No, I think Daniel brought up a really good point. If they can blink, or if they can do something to force their opponent to shoot a particular unit, maybe they have like a banner, and if anything within 18 inches of the banner can't be shot at, if it's outside of 18, maybe something like that. Just a way for them to either survive their opponent's shooting. Go ahead, Daniel.
Half range on weapons, so you have to move closer to the Khorne units. That way, enable them to assault more.
I think those are all really good ideas of like trying to give them something that impacts their opponent. I don't think you need to make Khorne shoot, or even try, or make Khorne do psychics, or even try. Like
I think the same thing with Tau. Then you know what I mean.
Same thing with Tau. Yeah.
You just give them the ability to interact, then they'd have to have more move and more things that disrupt. So basically more disruption type abilities you guys think would help with these one-dimensional armies having the ability to compete. You know what I mean? Because these are both right now, bottom performing armies. Like, not even close. Khorne and Tau are super low performing since 9th edition has come out.
I think Tau are a little different than I think Khorne. Khorne is always and should always be. That was a horrible sentence, but I was going to say and should always be, and then I'm like, and will always be at the same time. Predominantly an assault-based army. Tau are looked at as a shooting army today, but it is very easy to make Tau an assault-based army. There is no reason whatsoever you can't make assault suits. That is something you can 100% make with Ovesa and like some of the other stuff like Shadow Sun, and like you can have it be like I have assault-based shoots. But you could do that. That's number one.
You could make a fucking weak version of it.
No, you could argue
just giving each other a pep talk, and they just run into Blade Guard veteran.
You could make some decent assault base about assault. I mean, they're not gonna compete.
Plastic swords to combat.
They're not gonna compete against the best of the best. But I think you can make decent assault in Tau, and I think you can make an entire book called Kroot Mercenaries, where you have Shapers and they have Eviscerator blades, and you have a bunch of dudes in Kroot Kortox, and you could have big Kroot dinosaurs, and you can mix a Kroot army with a Tau army, which will basically be like mixing Imperial Guard and Gene Stealers.
The fact that in the books and everything, the Tau have like allied with like a billion other races now. You know what I mean? They have so many other allied races. So you could have that.
There's no reason why you can't do a Kroot army with Tau, and it would be amazing. Kroot in 4th edition was one of the most powerful assault armies. You would have like 30-man units like orcs.
They all infiltrated, remember?
Yeah, they all infiltrated.
Give Tau more resilient buffs and allow all suits to shoot into close combat.
I think that's more on it. I mean, the Tau purists.
Then you can walk up with your stuff. You're very resilient, and you still can shoot in close combat. So you're playing in close combat by shooting.
Yeah, that's fine too. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, shooting in close combat, more abilities to shoot in close combat. I think the fact that they have good Overwatch should stay. I think they should keep good Overwatch. I do think that you can add Kroot, and that'd be a huge assault element to them. I don't see any reason why you can't have robot assaulty robots, at least one type of unit. So I still think that's a thing. So I think those are all like really good ideas for making Tau better. You don't have those options with Khorne. Khorne just don't shoot, right? I guess you can say skull cannons. You can make skull cannons better, but
you don't. But I'm saying no, you don't. But I actually think that I would say that like stay to the Tau shooting routes and give them more abilities, like you're talking about doing with Khorne right there, where both of them have different movement. I mean, like old school Tau, remember, moved in the assault phase, used to be able to move away and do stuff. They use their
jump out, shoot,
jump
and
abilities.
Jump back stuff.
Yeah, and I think we all need to put a put option on drones. Like drones getting more expensive is ridiculous. They need to come down in price. Like that doesn't make any sense. That's so stupid. Just literally like fix that immediately, because that makes no sense to me. But yeah, I think those are all ways you could fix it. Yes. They would be a lot better.
I did get. I should download this right now and put it as my background. The meme of Tau trying to do any melee combat, absolutely whatsoever.
You guys are so stupid. Tau could be good.
They're so bad at that.
Tau could be so good in close combat if they wanted to.
You know what? I heard a lot of people say Tau are the best.
I mean, they're not going to kill Sanguinary
Only
Guard.
Donald Trump say Tau are the best.
I hate everybody in this small group here.
The second best after Donald Trump.
Hold on, there you go. That's my background for you.
We can't make it out, which is thank God. I'm just going to minimize your picture on the stream right now. Anyways, any other units that you guys wanted to talk about? We brought up a lot of stuff, actually, more than I thought. I like how we do no prep whatsoever. We just get on and like I get interested. It's like Daniel brought up Death Strike missile. I was like, oh, cool. And then Brad's like Carnifexes. I'm like, oh yeah, cool. I didn't even think of those. I thought of Bloodthirster and World Eaters, Corn Berserkers.
Well, let's be honest though. We said, what is our topic going to be? And both Daniel and I said a couple things, and you went, those seem dumb. I'm just going to say what I'd like to see.
Yeah, no one wants to hear you talk about Mortarion anymore. You did like a 2-hour live stream on Death Guard. It was like forever.
well, one of us had to be more positive because the other one was a little negative on things.
They're very good. Any other units? I can't think of anything else. I know Yen Karn came up a lot, and I do agree that Yen Karn needs to get something, but Yenkarn
It's too expensive for. I mean, you're putting out so many of these. Other people just need to be buffed.
I think it kind of just needs to get cheaper. Like, just make Yenkarn cheaper, but keep that like whole teleportability that she has and like all that other stuff. That stuff's really
that's cool. Yeah, I
love that thing. Like the unit dies, I come over here, bro.
Yeah,
some sick people working that thing in games. Very good players. Just make that even better. So, I do like that a lot. Daniel, I really love the zoom in of your beard. It's very nice. I see like the follicles and how they grow. We should do a whole cast where we just strap you to a chair with duct tape and record one of your hair follicles growing for 15 days. It's just a live cast.
I don't even know what to say about
it. Daniel's like, I swear I work.
Things got so weird. I didn't know what happened.
Oh man, it's funny. And then we could do a podcast about noodling.
No one grows better white beard than me. Thank you very much.
I don't know. I can't think of anything else that I would like to see an upgrade on right now. But I probably we'll get off the cast. We'll stop streaming, and I'll be like, oh, I forgot to talk about this thing.
There's so many. There's like tons of little units, but I think big. Like I was just thinking like bigger units because we were talking Mortarion in the first place. You know what I mean? Like the expensive stuff. Make the expensive stuff worth being expensive. Is my thing. You know?
Dude, Brad, I was talking about streaming Daniel's hair growing out of his face, and Robert got on saying it's still better than the paint stream that Brad's on.
That's brutal, man. That's hurtful. That's hurtful talk right there.
That is amazing. Wow.
Why are Brad on a paint stream?
That is just savage. He does a paint stream with somebody else on Mondays.
I literally take claim to 50% of all models that are painted on the stream.
That's mean, dude. Robert, you are brutal. Don't piss off Robert. He says bad things to people. I don't like it.
He does. Yeah. Robert has no fear.
He just crushes their souls.
No fear of his evil.
He gets censored on this channel. Everyone. When we put Robert on, I'm like, should I extend the delay? Probably.
Yeah. To 20 minutes, just in case.
Probably extend this delay. Because
he is currently the only person that has got us taken off both Facebook and Twitch.
He's a double hitter. So it's
very impressive. A double hitter.
Very impressive. I didn't bring up orcs at all. I do feel like orcs need to get better, but I don't have a particular unit. Gaskell is pretty solid, actually.
Stampas are terrible.
Stampas?
They're fucking.
Do you really want to see a Stampa in 40K though? Like, do you really want?
Not really, but if you're talking about things that are not good,
I feel like Val. I feel like Val loves the Stampa. The custom Stampa right now, it's actually pretty good. Output wise, it's pretty good. It's not bad. Not gonna lie. I mean,
yes. We were talking bigger models, Kurt, but yes.
If we're talking small models, Kurt, Shadow Specters. Yeah, I would love Shadow Specters to be amazing.
Specters, I mean,
bring back Rough Riders. Can we get a shirt? Bring back Rough Riders?
Dude, but Craft World troops are just the garbage of garbage. Hey, I'm a dire Avenger. I've spent my entire life shooting and perfecting, thousands of years perfecting how to shoot. How do you shoot? So. I'm a tiny bit better than maybe a guardsman, but he follows orders.
He's like a stormtrooper.
He's been firing to miss the entire time.
Oh my god, that's funny.
They're so bad. You're like, who's about the same?
Who are the worst though? Are Striking Scorpions the worst?
Dude, Aspect Warriors, literally, Dire Avengers. I have to go on this because the dude that when you go to a hive world, you tell a dude to get in the fucking transport. You hand him a las gun. He's literally as good as the guy that's been perfecting his craft for 1,000 years.
Eldars are slow learners.
I wish I had
them some crayon. It's amazing what they can do.
Give them some crayons. I wish I had like a zoom in of you when you freak out. I got to get that for the next one, like a little where like zooms into your camera.
The best is they should give them just a little a book of how tos. So they can go, I've been doing it wrong this entire time. 1,000 years. Fucking this shit up.
Got my zoom in back on. I gotta get these single views.
Don't even get me started on Fire Dragons. I'll have a fucking meltdown. Like
Fire Dragons. They're like the worst units ever.
Terrible. Dude, Fire Dragons are fucking a dumpster. We're gone.
My God.
We're just out.
No, we're not out. I accidentally clicked.
This is a really long transition.
They can hear.
They can hear. I was in the middle of talking. Ellen was like, and we're out.
No. I was clicking on scenes and I just messed up on my clicks. Oh man, that's funny. Fire Dragons, no terrible.
Fire Dragons are like Jesus, like they like fire dragons wouldn't get pissed on by eradicators if they were on fire. They are so terrible. Tank bikes are driving over them. Everybody's melted troops. Literally, fucking special weapons teams are like, look at those guys.
I don't think I don't know if they can actually fix them though. Like, what would they do to fix them?
So bad. Make them not 1,000 points. Make them do anything. Make them not have a fucking overpriced multi-gun. I mean, so many things. Give them a better paint job. I don't know.
I mean, but like, how many points? How many points would they have to be, and what would you have to do to their multi-gun? Because like, the Space Marine Eradicators are so good that like, can you make a cost-effective Eldar unit with 4 multi-guns in it still?
Now, think about it. Like, everybody that has a multi-gun or can take a multi-gun is half.
Kurt said 23 points per model.
Yeah, it's just insanity. Like, you can literally take a command squad and just take 4 fucking multi-guns and guard. There's so many people, retributors.
But I feel like fire dragons should be better than them, but still cost effective in an Eldar army. So where do you find the middle ground?
Is literally that's all they do. They perfect the art of the fusion gun, and you're like, who's better than that? Bill, Stevie, Art, and Teddy that they gave multi-guns to, and just told to aim in that general direction.
Carl shoots a better multi-gun than me. I've trained all my life as an aspect warrior, dedicated myself to this particular profession, and Carl beats me. God damn it!
Reapers leave fucking steaming bags of shit on fire at the aspect for the fire dragons.
Oh yeah, Kurt has a really good. See, you know what, Brad? I think I need to get rid of you and put Kurt on the podcast because he has these like really good answers. He goes, derive their costs from the multi-melta sisters. And that is not a bad idea. Like, probably make them a little bit more expensive, but the T3 and all that stuff's consistent. But make them a little bit more expensive and then make the gun a little bit better, right? That would make sense.
You don't have to. They're literally right now. The sister actually costs less and shoots better.
I know. I'm saying make the fire dragon shoot better somehow. Either make the melt-a-gun better, like the profile, or make there's no or there. Make it better. And then make it cost a little bit more. So make it a little bit more expensive than a sister, right? Maybe like, I don't know, 2 points per model more expensive than a sister, but make the melta-gun like strength 9, or like make it more damage, or make it 1 more rend, because they're fire dragons. It should be a little bit better, right?
I mean, because the sisters also have like all kinds of mojo they can take.
Yeah, but it's not like a sister could pick up.
Multi-melta is 32 points right now, and they literally can take, the cherubs, Armorian cherubs, and all that other shit. So they're just so much better in every aspect. Literally, in every.
Get 4-up imbo.
Yeah.
Ignore Rend 1 and 2.
Yeah. they literally, and they can also just decide that they got a 6. So that's a big deal too. Hey, I kind of want you to die. How about a 6?
Is that the Repenta unit that can take 4 of them? Like, what unit could take 4 meltas in it?
Retributors can take 4 multi-meltas.
And they're 32 points. They're 32 points for the melta
with the multi-melta, and they can take 2 cherubs. And they can also, if their sister superior dies and they're martyred lady, they hit on 2s now. They have
Well, we can't. Yeah, but we can't think of all the abilities. You have to appoint them. You have to appoint it efficiently, and then make the Eldar Codex have better stuff. Like, you can't. Sure, but you can't like all of a sudden say fire dragons are 18 points. Give them
some sort of special abilities though, that to make them worthwhile.
I guess in the current scheme
was so dominant in a long time in 8th. So cry me a river, Eldar players.
So, but I'm saying that's not even a thing, because they're literally almost the same cost, and they have a multi-melta with better abilities. We have a melted gun, which is
I would maybe make it a multi-melta and then point it.
You don't even have a melta gun; you only have a fusion gun, so you don't get the +2 on short range.
You get absolutely all of the.
Yeah, well, fusion gun should be better. I think fusion guns should be better.
Oh, for sure, they should be better. So, because I mean, like. A sister is 1 point cheaper, like a Dominion with a melta gun, which again they get access to all the stuff, is a point cheaper.
Dogs.
Yeah.
Kill them, shoot them all. I'm gonna get a text immediately from Britt. How dare you threaten my animals? She's so protective. I don't blame her. All right, we got off on a tangent now with meltas.
With the Eldar? Yes, I know, exactly.
That happens to us all the time. How are we closing today's channel, Brad? Talk to me.
With apparently dogs yelling at the bottom.
Yeah, just mute your microphone. And go home. Daniel, how are we closing today's channel?
Apparently to the song of those beautiful dogs.
What are you painting? Let me know what you're painting real quick. I'm painting this turtle guy.
I'm painting 17 Astra tanks and 3 Valkyries.
This guy. This is the guy I'm making.
Yeah. Multipass.
Yeah. Right? Doesn't he look kind of like the big dudes from Fifth Element? I like it.
Exactly like it. It was the first thing I thought of when I saw it.
It looks great too. The resin cast is fantastic. I think I might do a video on resin casting and some of the models. This one comes from Titan Forge. It's like a $10 per month Patreon, and you get access to like a gajillion files, STL files. So highly recommend it. Go check it out. Our Arch Villain is also really good, and you can also just go on like My Mini Factory or whatever and just download the STLs independently. That's also pretty cool. I just hope that tournaments allow for alternative models, because I might make like, there's a good chance.
I know how you feel about this, actually, to tell you the truth, Alan. Do you like Countess armies?
Within reason. Within reason, but yes, I do within reason. Yeah.
Model WYSIWYG.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I love Countess armies.
Like I want to make this guy a Demon Prince. I want to make him a Demon Prince. He's pretty big.
I love Countess armies as long as you understand what it is.
Yeah, the way I've always done it, Daniel, is pictures of the units next to the thing on the detachment sheet, like on the army list. So you have a picture of the unit and it explains it.
And nothing
I'm
similar.
playing a Nagash army as my demon army.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah.
I like stuff like that a lot. As long as you never have any confusion, there's not anything that's like very similar in the thing. Like you don't want.
Exactly.
You know what I don't like? I don't like. Sorry.
As lesser demons, and then the ghouls. I'm not playing this. 2 different lesser demons.
Yeah.
With the same ghouls.
No, Daniel's example is really good because AOS is an army and a model line outside of 40K. What I do not like, what I actually kind of hate, I hate when people use 40K models as counts as other models, like common 40K models as other models. So I don't like when people
I'm tired of my crappy Eldars, so I take all my fire dragons and call them Sisters of Battle.
Exactly, something like that. Yeah. Or someone plays an entire orc army as Tau. Like stuff like that. Like I can't stand.
I think it could be okay if it's really cool done. Like if you really put effort into conversions and make stuff really cool.
Yeah.
I don't mind.
I just don't like when the model is something I'm used to. If the model's like something I see all the time, that causes me a little bit of a problem.
Fantasy and AOS stuff being brought into 40K though.
Yeah.
But the worst part is when it's really ugly done, and it's obviously is because you didn't have the models and you took Eldar models as your sisters. That sucks. But if it's really cool done and well painted and based and like there's a thought behind it, I'm all for Countess.
Yep. So I think we fundamentally agree, just slightly disagree on some of the specifics. But yeah, I'm gonna make one.
I feel you.
I'm gonna make one of these 3D prints. I feel you, dog. What? Are you talking to your dogs right now?
No, they got thrown outside.
Why? Why would you do that to them? That's not cool.
I mean, they have to go outside occasionally.
Diego, what's up, Diego?
It's not like they're. I would like it a lot more. I'd like the dogs a lot more if I could just cruise in and the dogs were just sitting reading the paper on the toilet as opposed to being let outside to use the bathroom.
You mean like Mr. Jingles in Meet the Fockers?
Yes, Mr. Jingles. I definitely would prefer.
Mr. Jingles is the shit, dude. Cat that knows how to use the washrooms. Like, he didn't flush the toilet. He doesn't have opposable thumbs. Focker. It's the best.
It's bullshit.
All right, I think we're done for today, guys. Take care. Thank you guys for calling in. Let's talk now.
See you guys. Keep safe.